1 year. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. We're gonna get started. Can't hear me?
No.
My microphone's on. Testing. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Mike is indisposed tonight, won't be able to be here. So keep him in your thoughts. John Roofer, same thing, is not able to come in tonight. And we have a replacement for Ben for the evening. One of his partners is Kara, so she'll be here acting as our town attorney tonight. So thanks everybody for coming. This is a kind of a practice run for me. So let's see how I do. Start with the. Okay, so on the work session tonight, we are looking to adopt our 2026 budget. We have the preliminary budget in place, and at this point, there's been no other changes. So if everybody had a chance to review it, anybody have any issues here with the budget? Don't all speak at once.
Going once, going twice.
Okay. Second item on the agenda is park rental fees. We rent out all the different buildings in the town park. They've been getting very good usage. It's booked pretty well solidly throughout the summer. And we are rounding up some of the figures. The two main buildings, I think we're taking those up about $50 a piece for the rental. And then the rest of the pavilions and other things, the other facilities that we have, we're going to turn around and have about a $5 increase on those. Prices have gone up a bit, cost to run them, electricity, everything else has been going up on it. So we're just trying to keep ourselves where at least doesn't cost us money to rent these buildings out. Next on the agenda will be, we have a UV water system for the park. At this point, just about all of our buildings have a UV water filtration system, keeping everything clean and everybody healthy. So the one building that doesn't have it at this point is the park facilities. So we have a couple different estimates to put a UV system in there to filter the water and keep everybody healthy and safe. If I can find that. The proposals were, it was from a company that we've been using in the past, that has been handling all the rest of the town buildings, and it's for Pure Bliss water treatment. There are two different estimates. One of them, and I'm not really sure exactly what the differences are, but I think it's just the capacity of the amount of water that it'll treat. We have one estimate that comes in at $9,750. The other one comes in at $11,100. Speaking with Mike, who's gone over these things in depth, he's recommending that we go with the better of the two systems. The question is whether or not, being at that we've been using these people, do we need to put this thing back out to bid, or can we just use it as a continuing?
I think you can use it as a continuum.
Okay, so we'll vote on that tonight. Which one of these treatment systems that we want to go with? And then lastly, we're going to have a public hearing for a proposed amendment on the local law, section 135-4, which is our noise ordinance. Before we even get into that, the board's had a chance to look at it. It's an antiquated law. Best that we can find, Karen has gone and dug deep in the basement, and the initial law was actually put on the books at about 1950. The last time that was acted on was codified in 1990. So they went and they took all the laws and amendments and all the different statutes that we've had floating around town, put everything into one law book. And that would have been in 1990. So this really has not been visited since then. Essentially, what we were trying to do was that the weekends they weren't marked out as being Saturday and Sunday. So the Saturday was kind of left open as a day that didn't exist. But looking at it, the noise ordinance limits cutting grass and doing things, making any kind of noise till 10 o'clock in the morning. There was an awful lot of public discussion out on social media about it. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with it, but the boards looked at it and we think that the laws are antiquated, and what our intention is to hear public comment, and then what we're going to do is go back and try to come up with something that makes a little more sense for what the hours are and what days and what hours we're going to do. So once we close the public hearing, like I said, we're going to probably move on and reanalyze this law to come up with something that makes more sense. Anybody have anything else they need to? Okay, so let's start the business meeting with oh, there was yeah. One more person. Yeah. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, to open the meeting, we're going to open, I can get a motion to open a public hearing for the proposed amendment to local law section 135-4. Do I have a motion? Motion. Matt? Second for Tyler. Okay. Is there anybody in the general public who would like to, you have one? Mr. Wilcox.
I have more of a question than I have some issues or things that you probably have not taken into consideration when you do revise the law. Okay, it's Saturday morning, it's January 5th, it snowed overnight. It's 8 o'clock, I got to get to work. And I run the snow blower, or I got to call my boss and say I'm waiting till 10 to do the lawn, to do the driveway. I'll be in at about 2. So you're working on, nobody, we live in a town of Maiden, Katie. Nobody, at least in my neighborhood, nobody cares. We don't go out at 4 in the morning and start making all kinds of noise. But when you guys are thinking of this law, I think you need to really look at what happens, what we do in the town, how we live here, how we get in, how we get out, before you just arbitrarily say, okay, 10 o'clock on Saturday, no noise. That's it for me.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I think the board is of like mind, which is why we want to revisit this. Like I said, coming back from 1950, the law, I don't know anybody that I've spoken with has said that this is one of the first times that we've had an issue. We had somebody complain, and we went back into the codes to look at it, and this is what the law stated. So we said, we need to work on this. Obviously, it needs to be updated a bit.
Thank you.
So thank you. Chris?
Oh, I am Chris Lesser, and I think some of this needs to be explained a little bit before public hearing. It's a little different here. You're talking about lawn mowing, and noise. Noise restrictions set forth in the no noise code. So you have two different issues here, I think. I honestly didn't know we had a noise code. I think that's also an issue here, I think. Depending how someone wants to word, the noise code? I don't know, but I'd like to read it myself, or unless it's not 10 paragraphs long, is there something short and simple that? Or,
Yeah, I don't know how short and simple,
It's a couple,
It's a couple
probably a
yeah.
page long.
It's a
page
couple
and a
pages,
half.
probably more than 5 or 10 paragraphs, but it's not
right,
that.
so, no doubt, if it's too much noise, someone's going to say, how many decibels is it? What do we have for a noise code in decibels? Do we have that?
75
We have that in the code.
property line, yep.
So if I have a complaint, maybe you don't know, where do I get a meter to monitor these decibels?
Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff? So there's nothing simple you're saying that you're aware of that I can go to some place and buy a meter at the sheriff's department? That seems a little bit remote, a little bit far out of the context of,
When we have noise issues in the town and somebody's complaining, the suggestion is to call the sheriff's department. They respond to civil complaints. So, yeah, I don't know if there's something that you can put on your phone. Again, it's going to be enforcement, so you need somebody that's official that would be able to read.
yeah, I understand that to get a sheriff's department to come down and says, the neighbor's making noise, we got something more important to do. And I can understand that. That's why if I'm going to do something, which I know I'm going to with the neighbor, I want to have something, where can I buy it? And I'm sure there's some place that I can buy one of those rather than bother the sheriff's department. So 75 is the maximum, that's okay. Because there is going to come an issue up on this, and it was mentioned with this mulch plant issue down the road, and that was already mentioned about how loud will that be? Well, we're certainly not going to call the sheriff, I wouldn't, to call down and say, I think that's too loud or not loud enough or whatever it is. So I think the applicant would also like to know what their limitations are.
I agree with you. The applicant's pretty aware of that because there's been pretty wide-ranging discussions on the noise on that particular project. Because it is something that they brought up, and I'm sure they're going to come back and try to address that. But you know, I agree. I mean, and I think the board as a whole is looking at this and saying that these laws really need to be updated. And times have changed since 1950. You know, we're talking 70 years, 75 years since that law was put into effect. We'd like to come up with something with some common sense.
All right, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm
I might
doing-
be-
Thanks for coming.
Where did all this start? Somebody just say, we've got to go through all our old laws?
No, I believe it emanated from a complaint.
Oh, okay.
This is a law, I don't think that's.
We called years ago about a noise complaint. My neighbor plays his radio every day. I can sit in my bedroom and it bounces off the back of my house. We called the town. We called state troopers. I was told there is no noise ordinance in Mamakating. So for 2 or 3 years now, I've been putting up with his noise. So then I hear somebody's going through the laws and say, oh, we can't mow until such and such time, such and such day. I run a landscaping business. I mow lawns. There's about 20 other people in this town that mow lawns. And I know there's probably another 20 that mow lawns on Saturdays because they work all week long. So now we're going to limit time on Saturdays where these guys got to have at least 8 hours. So you're going to pull this up all of a sudden. We're going to go through this law. You're going to give it to public so they can talk about it. And then you're going to go and make your decisions. You just may think about what's going on. All right. There's going to be a lot of noise in this town that people aren't going to want to hear. Drive through Bloomingburg at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's something you have to tolerate. We had it down at the Homoac when they had the girls camp down there. We could hear their loudspeakers. Something you tolerate. It only lasts for a little time. Good. So now the guy's mowing his lawn because he has to do it on Saturday because he goes to church on Sunday. He's got other things he's got to do, but he works all week. The only time he's got to do it is Saturday. He's got to take his kids to Little League practice. So what time has he got to do with it? I mean, there's problems we have to all think about. I mean, this affects me somewhat because I work all week long. I can manage to mow outside of town other than Saturdays. You know, if I want to mow Saturdays somewhere else, I could do it. There's some people that can't. Now, just limiting to lawnmowers, I don't understand how that just came about. Because we have the airport, that guy pulls gliders, which is great, but we hear that airplane all day long. He flies right over my house. I'm not going to call and say, hey, that guy can't fly his airplane. It's making too much noise. That guy can't play his radio. He likes to listen to his music. But yeah, it's annoying, but I deal with it. Sometimes he plays good music, sometimes he doesn't. You know, the noise thing is ridiculous. So my thought is, if you can't make it fair for everybody, just get rid of it. Because if you can't make it fair for everybody, and it's not going to be fair for everybody, because we're going to have a lot of things in this town that are going to be going on that you can't stop. So if you can't make it fair for everybody, get rid of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And just to reiterate, I mean, I believe that the board is reacting to those type of thoughts. That we see that there's some issues going on here, and we would like to address it so that it better reflects what today's standards are. Liz?
Hi.
Hi.
I just changed all the signs for the noise ordinance because apparently pickleball is very loud. So at Yankee Lake, we got in trouble over pickleball. So I took down the old signs and just had Fusion Graphics make the new signs, which I think I did 9 a.m. We didn't put it up yet, but I noticed in the town, it was a different time for lawn mowing on Sundays, but it seemed to be the rest of the week was one kind of hours. And apparently in the summer, a lot of people like to play pickleball at 6 a.m. So if you think lawn mowing can get you in trouble, be me, because the phone calls start from our good neighbors who don't want to hear the pickleball. So please let me know what time because the first thing they do is they look up an ordinance so that they could rip me up for not having the right time there, if you're not going to be in sync with the town. So if you make me change my signs again. But
No promises.
I did have a question about the UV lights, being that I get stuck in a lot of homes that need UV lights. Can you find out what the difference is from the $9,000 one to, what was it, 1,000?
To 11.
Capacity?
It's what? Because it's a big building? I know, but why is it $9,000? All these homes that I do are like 1,500, $2,000.
Wow.
But I've seen them like this. Oh, so, and that's a bigger one.
So
I guess.
the difference in the two units, as far as the units themselves, one of them came in at $8,750 and the other one was $7,400.
Oh, it's
So we're
not
looking
that
at
much
1,300
difference.
I mean,
Yeah.
for the unit themselves, we're looking at about a $1,300 difference to go up to
Wow. All right.
the better one.
Well, it's better than everybody getting E. coli. So that's a good thing. But I missed, I believe, the last meeting, and I just want to congratulate Mr. Goodman on winning his term as supervisor, and Matt Mortis and all of you who ran, and Rob Rogers. So, you know, it's a good thing. It's nice to see you all in for next year for fun.
Thank you. And we'll address that
Yeah.
in January. He said, this is a trial run, so. But, no, you know, so. Is there anybody in the public that, would like to talk about speak on this public hearing for the noise ordinance? Mr. Lester?
I'd just like to readdress that again. We're talking about lawn mowing on Saturday, that right now the provisions don't say you can mow the lawn on Saturday. Through the rules over the years, that just for somehow was not put into print. It sounds like we're going all over in different places, and that's what this discussion is about. The elimination of lawn mowing on Saturday. And I can see it's gotten all,
To answer your question, I think.
oh, it's not a question. I'm making a statement.
Well, I'll address your statement. I believe that the laws, if you look at what's been going on over the years, there seems to be, they're hitting different points. What we want to do is look at, put them all together, codify them, you know, just standardize them so that we're addressing all these issues and trying to make some sense out of it.
I got you, but I mean, I was listening to also about pickleball, the noise, it'll just go on and not stop. I think the first thing to do is address the law, put it back in there, approve the thing back Saturday, back into lawn mowing, because as you just listened to all the other things that will just go on and on and on. What noise, how loud, when, what, where, when.
Thank you. Brittany, is there anybody online that would like to speak?
I do not have anybody.
Okay. If no one else would like to talk, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Second, Tyler. This is an issue that, as I said earlier, the board is going to sit down and go over this law. We're not going to go forward with any changes in the current law, but what we do want to do is readdress it and revamp the law itself. So in order to do that, we'll have a public hearing when we come up with the proposal for the new law. So hopefully we can do something that most people will be happy with. We're about to go into the highway superintendent report. At this point, we're going to go into an executive session. We have some issues that we're going to discuss about personnel. So if I can get a motion to go to an executive session.
Motion.
Tyler? Second. Matt? Okay. We're going to be back.
I was good. That was second.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Well, all in favor on the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be back. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for toughing that one out. Do I have a motion to close the executive session?
Motion.
Motion by Gary, second?
Second.
Second by Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There's no action taken on what we just spoke of. So we're going to continue. So thanks for hanging in there with us. Now I have to find my agenda. Where we go? All right, then we have the highway superintendent's report.
All right, just 2 quick points. We got crews working with Tree Innovations again this year. We started that 2 weeks ago, cleaning up dead trees along the side of the roads. I want to thank the board again for giving us the money to do that. And like last year, I'm going to advocate that we do it again next year. We could probably make this our full-time jobs if we wanted to. There's an ever-growing list of dead trees that need to get rectified. So just keep that in the back of your minds for the 2026 year as well. But thanks for going out to bid on this. We're getting a couple trees done. We've got a bunch more on the list, and tomorrow I think we're going to be at the cemetery on Roos, taking care of some dead trees for the parks. So it's benefiting the highway and also the rest of the township in general as well. So it's a good thing. And we're getting ready for snow season. We had a couple flurries the past couple days. We had to go out 2 mornings just to make sure the bridges were all right and some higher elevations. And just my usual annual advice to residents, leave time in your commute. And winter tires really aren't optional in the Northeast. So please get proper equipment for your vehicle so we can get everywhere safely. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next is the supervisor's report. Michael left me with a very simple report, which says, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, happy and healthy, don't eat too much. There's also, no, I'll push that off to announcements, but at this point in time, everything's going pretty well. I'll thank Michael for working hard on making a smooth transition. So come January, this will be my normal seat. So thanks everybody for putting up with it, and I look forward. So, okay. So next on the list, we'd like to ratify the 2025 abstract number 21 for a total of $761,705.81. Everybody's had a chance to go through the abstract. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Tyler?
Second.
Gary? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, approved. Second, we'd like to ratify the 2025 abstract number 22, $408,452.50. This is one that covered the Godfrey Road Bridge. Everybody had a chance to look at that also? Am I correct? Yes, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Matt? Second?
Second.
Tyler? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so moved. And finally, 2025 abstract number 23 for $113,741. Motion to approve?
Motion.
Matt, first.
Second.
Second, Tyler. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
That's the question. You have to complicated to the order. Are the budget for 2026, do I add them all up?
These are all 2025. We're ratifying 2 of them, being that we missed the last meeting. So that we didn't vote on them. We voted independently through email. So this is basically just ratifying 2 of them. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Okay. Financial reports. Has everybody had a chance to look at the financial reports?
Yep.
They went out a bit late. If everybody's in favor, if we'd like to vote on to approve the financial reports. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion from Tyler.
Second.
Second from Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, financial reports are approved. And we had a chance to look at the minutes for 10/21/25. Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Matt.
Second.
Second by Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. Now for the resolutions, like to have a motion to adopt the 2026 budget. We've gone through this. We've had the tentative, the preliminary, and now we're off to the to adopt the final budget. We've been through it. There's been no changes. Do I have a motion to approve the 2026 budget?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Matt and then Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have a budget. Has everybody had a chance to look at the park fees, the changes in the park fees? I'll take that as a yes. We have a motion to approve the changes in the park fees for 2026.
Motion.
Motion by Gary,
Second.
second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have, can I get a motion to approve the purchase of the UV water system for the park for $11,000 to come out of our HUD account? We have a motion there?
Motion.
Motion by Tyler,
Second.
second by Matt. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And finally, in the resolution is an approved motion to approve the amendment to the local, we're going to table that. So there will be no motion there. And we will revisit it and come up with some fun things for the new law. Any committee reports? Do we have anybody here with a committee report? No, Matt, for me? No. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I think I have one. I have an assessors report for October 2025. The assessor's office processed a total of 54 deeds. 52 of those were in the town and village of Bloomingburg, processed 2. Address changes there were 9. And number of permits processed for evaluation and non-value in the town were 6. And in the village of Wardsboro, we had 8. Exemptions, agent exemptions were 3. Agent renewals were 22. Forestry exemptions, 2. 3 agricultural exemptions, 1 enhanced star exemption, 3 veterans exemptions, and 2 veterans disability exemptions. Respectfully from our assessor, Michelle Langer-Marcino.
I got one from Vicky, Peter. I just found it. So for dog control, she had 16 loose dog calls this is for October. 1 was impounded and then euthanized, unfortunately. And then she said, thankfully, all the other dogs were returned to the owner. So that's that. And then I also have an announcement. I have my ward meeting, Ward 6. It's in the Bloomingburg Village Hall, 6 p.m. Wednesday. I just had the date in front of me. Sorry. Wednesday, December 3rd. Everyone's welcome. If you have anything to talk about, I will be there. So come on by.
Thank you. Another announcement I've gotten is there is going to be a train show. Going to be a display of old trains. Several of them set up that are operational. Kind of highlighting the history of Wardsboro and the trains that we're operating in here. That's going to be held on, oh my goodness, wrote it down, December 21st here at Town Hall. It is there. It's designed to raise some funds for both our town historian as well as the Historical Society. It sounds like it's going to be a very interesting thing. There's going to be a lot of different displays, a lot of history that's going to be discussed. Dave Lewis is kind of heading this thing up, and he's talked about other shows that he's been to in different towns, and it's actually been a rousing success. So this is something that new he's trying to bring into the town to spark some interest and show some history. So put that on the calendars, and sounds like a good time. I'm sorry? 21st, I believe. I think that's a Sunday. And I think okay, so public comment, there's 3 minutes each individual, 30 minutes maximum for anything that has been on or anything anybody would like to discuss tonight. So if there's anybody out there that has public comment.
As we're getting into the holiday season, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you for. Mr. Emmett, please.
How you doing? You Ward 6? You have a meeting every month or so?
I stopped doing that because no one showed up, so now I do it twice a year like everyone else.
Oh, when are you gonna start doing that?
Twice a year.
Twice a year?
I'll give an announcement. I got to get a new calendar and pick out the dates.
You don't have a phone, it's got a calendar on it.
Pardon me?
Got it. Okay, now,
He's had board meetings for.
I know, I just busted his job. I have to apologize for the way I acted when you showed up at my house. I should have thought about before what I said, but it was a lot of emotion that came out at that particular time.
Apology accepted. And
Okay.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm a man, I'm not gonna hide behind shit.
I understand. It was a misunderstanding. That's all.
All right, now, on the public announcements, you can pretty much talk about anything you want, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a lot of problems with ATVs. My sons and I ride ATVs. Why doesn't this town try to figure out a way to make ATV friendly area? I know we have places around it the town could probably do that. And you could probably make a lot of money doing it. Because I know when I used to go up to Holiday Mountain, that place was packed every weekend. And we were all paying $40 to get in. And there was probably 2,000 or 3,000 people there on a weekend. So do the math. If we could figure out how we could do that, a lot of people around here wouldn't have to worry about them being running up and down the roads. So, I mean, it's just a thought. It's a hard thing to do. Just a thought. It's not going to happen overnight. May happen 10, 15 years down the road, but you should try to think about doing something. You know, we already dropped the ball on Schwangunk Lodge. That got taken over. That's going to be open land. So now nobody can do anything with it but walk on it. But I mean, the Basher Kill, that was given up years and years ago too, which they should have just dredged that out and made a big ass lake. And then we wouldn't have to worry about our money problems around here. Things that, you know, you got to think about ahead of time. So I'm just letting you know, that's my feeling.
There's gonna be new administration in here. A lot of familiar faces, but somebody new sitting at the desk at the end of the hall. Doors open. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'm welcoming whatever ideas anybody comes with. So I find
Yeah,
that-
well, I know there's some places around that could probably do it, you know? All right,
Come on in. Thank you. Is there anybody else that has public comments? Mr. Leslie?
I just like a little bit of the latitude. I'll get to the point. Wasn't too long ago that I said that the town should stop taking over all these cul-de-sacs. Now we still have this Horvath one, and now we have this Neshopa with 11 lot subdivision coming up. And here we're going to have another cul-de-sac that costs us taxpayers money. There should be, you can't have those contractors now all of a sudden hit them with the HOAs, excuse me. So as I said, I've said that before. No one seems to care. It doesn't seem to penetrate anywhere. So now at the last meeting, you had one fellow from the highway department. He's going to be gone for who knows how long. It was supposedly going to be 6 months or longer if he decides to stay. I also mentioned it before that one of the highway guys at his choice will retire in December, maybe January. So now you have two people down, and guess what? This is November. So when you have these issues with the snow plowing already, we have two people short. This is part of what I'm trying to get at here, that the town should not be taking over any of these cul-de-sacs. It's just another thing that the cul-de-sacs are almost private to a point. They have their own people there that they know, the neighbors. They have the mail delivery. Very few things go in and on the cul-de-sacs. But we have to we have to pay for all of the stuff, the maintenance, the snow plowing that goes on there. And I wish somebody here in the board would get a backbone and start pushing something for that. Yes, you heard me right. Somebody here ought to start pushing for that for the taxpayers that have to foot this bill, and also the town, the highway people. Are they going to have to work extra hours because they're already going to be, by December, 2 people short? How much more are you going to push those people? Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Is there anybody else that has, would like to make a comment? Okay. Brittany, do we have anybody online?
I do not.
Okay. Being that we've already had our executive session, reached the end of our agenda. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Tyler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, who's second? Who's
Gary.
Gary.
Gary, okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks everybody for coming out.